Hello, I'm John Dumke of the BLC Group, the company who is helping businesses cut their expenses and increase their income by using our services. They include the collection of bad debt, the collection of returned checks, and the reduction of your credit card processing costs, as well as keeping you informed on security and fraud prevention, so important in this day and age. We even help you grow your business in the new, exciting but challenging world of internet business. I come from a generation accustomed to using the yellow pages when I want to find a product or a service. Today, my children, grandchildren, and even now I go to Google. I heard someone ask the other day, what are the yellow pages? Well, as you can see, if you plan on surviving in this new challenging world, you'll have to get with the program. And that is what we help you do when you become a member of the BLC Group. Let's start with account receivable collections. When people owe you money, there's a tendency to simply call it delinquent accounts. But the reality is, it is your money sitting in someone else's checking account. Our job is to get your money to you. Here is the problem. Most of the collection agencies fit in two categories. First is the ones who go only after the biggest and best accounts because this is where they make their money, and your smaller debts do not get worked. Number two, collection coupons that you pay for in advance whether you need them or not. Now, number three is our program, which I like to call Simple Solutions. What we do is handled by our affiliate professional recovery personnel who have been in business since 1989 and are licensed and bonded in all areas to service you and to protect you. When you join the BLC Group, within 24 to 48 hours, our portal entry specialist will call to set you up online so you can begin turning in accounts. And you are done. We take over handling the most despicable part of your business, collecting those pesky bad debts. You can go about your business knowing we're on the job, and you can check the status of any account at any time. Here's the good news. Becoming a member of the BLC Group costs less than the cost of a cup of coffee or a Coke a day. And that membership ensures you will receive personal service and all the discounts and benefits on every service you use. Here's another beautiful thing. You are not the one who created the problem of bad debts, so why should you pay out of your pocket for the solution? Our system works this way. We pay you for all debt collected in a previous month on the 5th of the next month. Your 5% fee for servicing the accounts is not deducted until the 10th of the month, letting you receive payment before paying the fees. Before I go any further, I want to make sure you are compliant with the Fair Debt Collection Act. And what that act says is you are not allowed to charge interest, fees, or expenses on the original debt unless it is expressly authorized by the agreement. If you do not have this verbiage within your agreements now, and here is an example, please be sure to consult an attorney. And by the way, the 5% service fee can be listed as a late fee, so your costs can be passed on to the debtor. As you can see, the delinquent account recoverability is much greater within the first 90 days. The age of an account is the most deteriorating factor affecting the ability to collect. So as we like to say, turn in the accounts quickly. Let us go to work and get your money more quickly. Let me tell you a little bit about our company. We have 25 successful years in the collection business, and we have never had any formal complaints in any state. Our recovery rate is 46 to 74% depending upon the type of company, and we collect payments securely online for your customers' convenience. Here are some examples of some of our clients. This is a bank in Minnesota. They'd been working with PRP for the past 10 years, and their recovery rate is higher than anyone they have used in the past. 10 years with the same collection agency is usually unheard of, and it means we're doing exactly what we say we will do. This letter is from a medical facility that states they took all of their accounts from another agency that they had been using for up to 3 years uncollected and turned them over to PRP. And within a very short period of time, they began to see their money collected. This is a letter from a college. And they were a little concerned as they wanted to protect their image. Well, as you can see, they've been with us for 5 years and are happy with the amount collected and the service provided. Now let me show you the dollar and cents difference between a traditional collection agency. This is according to the ACA. The average collection agency recovers only 14% of the amounts turned in. Our collection rates are 3 to 4 times higher at about 59%. The traditional agency collection cost is around 43% of your money, while ours is averaging only 22%. Now here's the timeline on our procedure from day one, when we send out the first letter, which is a free demand letter. Next, the collection letter and phone calls. All accounts are worked persistently for the first day to the 90th day. And then we have a legal component. We like to tell you that we're going to collect your money if there's any way physically and legally possible to do so. Now here's what happens when you turn in an account. Within the first day, 24 hours, that first letter is in the mail. This letter is what we call, as I said, the free demand letter. And we tell the customers that they have 10 days to pay the bill or it will be turned over to professional recovery personnel, your collection agency. Your company name and address is on the letter and return envelope, so if they choose to pay from this letter, the money is 100% yours and we don't ask for any fees. All we ask is that you contact us so we do not send out any additional communication. We know not everybody pays immediately, so on day 15, if you or they have not called us, we send the first collection letter. They now know they've been turned over to collections, and we are going to make paying their debt as easy as we can by giving them many payment options. By day 20, we follow the letter up with a phone call. And if we get no answer or agreement, we continue to call and send letters for the next 90 up to as much as 120 days, because persistence pays. 80 to 90% of all of the money we collect is collected this way. When all else fails, we will give the debtor a 72-hour notice letter letting them know that the account is being considered for legal action. We will continue to call the debtor. With our final phone call, we try to reason with them, letting them know that we understand financial hardships. However, the service or product has been received by them, and we now want to work with them to resolve this debt before any other action is taken. While on this phone call, we inform the debtor that if they do not pay, we will report the debt to the credit reporting service, and it will stay on their record for 7 years. If the debtor still will not pay, or if we have a hard time getting a hold of them, we will continue the collection effort with an emphasis on asset investigation, skip tracing, and relative searches. We will then decide if the account is suit-worthy, and our services include us paying all attorney fees on your behalf. Before we start the lawsuit, we will always get written permission from you. And before we go to court, we have our attorneys send a final demand letter, hoping this will let the debtor know it's their last chance to pay before legal answer. Once we get the judgment, we ask the one thing to do is to go back to court and get the writ of execution so we can go after the debtor's property or wages or bank accounts. Again, if there's any way legally or physically possible, we are going to get your money. With our service, we bring every account to a conclusion. Number one, the best possible solution is that we collect all of your money. Everybody is happy. The debtor doesn't have the money, we work out a payment plan which we monitor for you, and you can follow all the activity online. Number three, if the debtor refuses to pay, we have to begin legal action with your agreement, and we hire the attorney, we bring the suit, and we garnish what we need for you. Then we have the destitute person, that's number four, who does not have or ever will have the money to pay you. This is considered an uncollectible debt. We send it back to you so you can do with it whatever you want, but forget it and get on with your business. Now, when you have delinquent accounts, you have several options. You can hire an attorney for about $275 to $500 an hour. You can hire a full-time employee, but who wants to take that legal liability on and all the added expenses of an additional employee? Or you can hire a collection agency. Some companies and agencies are the ones I talked about earlier. They only go after the biggest and best accounts, and most of these companies charge 40 to 70% of your money in fees. The other companies sell you coupons from $15 to $108 to use their service whether you need them now or not. These systems have been around for years, and on average they're collecting only 14% of what you turn in. With PRP, our rate is 48 to 72% depending upon the type of an account. A much more effective way to collect your money. At the beginning, I said becoming a member of the BLC group costs less than you spend on coffee or Coke a day and gives you the best pricing on services you need, along with the best real person contact. The service fee for our members is only 5% of any new debt turned in, regardless of how many hours our people spend on it. It's still only the 5%. And we bring every account to a conclusion. So the next question is, what do we charge for the actual collections? Well, it is as low as 10%, and if you are compliant with the Fair Debt Collections Act, we can charge that fee back to the debtor as well. If your delinquent account is older than a year, the fee is still only a low 30%, and that's still far below the national average of 40 to 70%. Now, on this agreement, I want to point out a few things. The free demand letter is the letter we send out first. And again, if your debtor pays off of this letter, keep the money. Just give us a call so we don't send any additional communication. Primary service is where the majority of the debts will be collected, and an a cost as low as 10% depending upon when you turn in the accounts. Litigation services is only 40%, still well below the national average of 50 to 75%. And we pay all attorney fees, court costs, and we will never take anyone to court without your written permission. The law states that we can wait 45 days to pay you the money we collected. However, we feel it is better to get your money to you sooner. We pay the amount we collected, less the collection fees, on the 5th of the following month, and your service fee is still not debited until the 10th. And then we guarantee our services. If we send an account back to you as uncollected and you find another collection agency who is able to collect that money within 6 months, and you have been turning in at least 5 accounts each month with us, we will pay that collection agency's contingency fee. Okay, I'm almost done. But I want to say 2 things. The debtors are not going to pay you, period. You know it, I know it, and they know it. If they were, they would have done so already. And number 2, if you want your money, do something different. Hire us. What you are then doing is outsourcing the most despicable part of your business, allowing you to sleep at night without worrying about the people who have your money. All that is required to begin our service is for these forms to be completed and either emailed or faxed to us. Within 24 to 48 hours, we will get you set up online so you can turn in accounts when you need to. And then let us do the rest. I'm all done. But if you'd like to call us, talk to us, reach out to us, here are the numbers. Call me on my personal phone number, 800-392-1602, or you may fax or send an email to us. I'd like to have you have a great day, but I thank you so very much for your time. Let's go get your money.